toad and a spider. And it's the 24th, and I'm your host, James Snyder.
Ghosts quiver, children shiver. Don't be alarmed, it's Michael Shilver.
That was great, guys. Hey, you should take a bowski. And by the way, I'm your third host, Jonathan Sadowski.
A very tricky baby. He had reflux, he had trouble going to the bathroom, and we ended up at a gastroenterologist, and he just said to me, there is a disease that's diagnosed through birthmarks. So he did have birthmarks on his stomach. So the next time I went to my pediatrician, she said, you know what, just go to a dermatologist to be safe. And we went, and he had 11 cafe au lait spots. And if you have over 6, that's one of the signs of NF.
Neurofibromatosis, or NF, is a syndrome where patients get these growths in different parts of their body. For some people it's a cosmetic issue, and for some people it's so mild they don't even care. And then sometimes they're centrally located in places that can be really quite dangerous.
So I found a neurologist, and we went to see her, and she was like just giving him a physical, really. And she said he has a tumor in his neck. We took him in for an MRI that next day, and I remember she came out and she said, I had no idea. And it was down part of his arm, down into his chest, into his brainstem. And I remember just my late husband just kind of taking like a few steps back, like he was shocked. And I remember just kind of looking at her, and I think I don't remember really having a reaction. I don't think I totally understood. And the next day, he was walking across the living room, and he fell down, and he couldn't move. And he went in the next day for a 9-hour brain surgery. Yeah. They had to go in and remove part of his spinal column. So there was no treatment for NF, so the tumor was just growing. I dragged him to every doctor in the Northeast. I took him to Boston, I took him to Philadelphia. I went to see a doctor at Sloan Kettering, and we walked in, and he just looked at us and said, I wish he had cancer, there's nothing we can do. And then I got to the point where I realized, actually, nobody's gonna figure it out. You know, my husband was killed.
This just in, you were looking at obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning that a plane has crashed into one of the towers of the World Trade Center.
I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. When you have a 21-month-old, there's no time to just go to bed and mourn a terrible loss, because a 21-month-old wants to go to the playground. Without Aidan, I don't know what I would have done. My sole focus was him. This was my only child, and I was going to keep him alive. And then he fell down. And what happened was he had swan neck. So when they removed the spinal column, his spinal cord started collapsing. so scary. They rebuilt his spinal cord with his rib cage. It was insane. It was insane.
After my surgery, when I was sick, when my spine was rebuilt, they had to lock me in my room because I didn't feel safe sleeping by myself. They had to strengthen my spine to keep the spinal fusion working. It's much more easy for that to come undone, so I've always had to be very careful. And it's a 24/7 in your head, should I do that? I'm not sure, so I'm not gonna do it. You'll walk into the gym and you'll be like, the kids are rowdy today. I shouldn't participate. I'm obviously very visually affected, and for school there was a lot of bullying. You know, don't sit with us at lunch. You know, it was very hard to make friends because I was living in a small community and people that were different were, you know, not very easily accepted. That was the hardest. And we kind of made the decision that we needed to move. So we moved to the city, where being different is New York City, so people that are different, you don't get even a glance on the street. You'll go into a store, you're gonna get, basically the question is, you're gonna pay me, right?
When I first met them, they were really tight. It was Aidan and his mother, and there'd been this little unit for 17 years.
I probably sometimes took care of him too much, shielded him too much, I would say, from the world.
And seeing Aidan embrace the city and really love going out and feel confident to go to Starbucks or go to the deli, walk to school, walk back from school, walk to his doctor, and so on, was a huge change and hugely inspirational for me.
I've been on a ton of clinical trials, and I am very fortunate that I was able to be part of the phase 1 clinical trial for the selumepinin drug.
It does have its challenges. He is very tired. He vomits quite a bit. I mean, enough that he has a pot next to his bed. But it's very difficult for him.
I'm sick. I don't even want to. If it wasn't for the film crew, I'd probably call it. I am not feeling good.
It's hard with the side effects and stuff. He doesn't always want to take the medicine, which you get. Then you have to sit down and go over what's the alternative.
He's part of that first volley of patients who tried this novel drug that really proves a success for these patients.
My tumor has shrunk around 40% since I started the selumepinin. That's one big step closer. That's probably the biggest step we've ever taken closer to a cure.
We went from having no medications that were even rational to try to going through a series of rational drugs and now finding one that actually works.
Now, for the first time, we actually have hope. And where it's more, you know, what is Aidan going to do for the rest of his life? Because there's a pretty good chance Aidan's going to live a very long life.
It's about looking at the bright side. And it will get better.
My name is Jane and I have neurofibromatosis type 1.
So Jane had been on a couple other clinical trials that weren't working, and she was invited to try the salumetinib in the phase 1. So she was one of the first 24 kids that actually took the medication, and that was, I want to say, about 6 years ago now.
Well, at first, I guess, from preschool through kindergarten, I was bullied because of it. And now just people are wondering what it is.
And we've had good success with it. She had a big drop in her tumor size, and it's sort of been stable since then.
It's exciting, yes, because I don't want kids to be bullied at all because they're different and they look different. So I think it's exciting, yeah.
Thrilled that it's kept her tumor from growing any further, and really the side effects have been manageable. It's it's fabulous to see, starting at phase 1 and coming all the way through to FDA approval is amazing. We've been through the whole thing. So currently there's, if someone walks in off the street with NF or a plexiform neurofibroma, there's nothing for them. The only way right now you can get treatment, other than surgery, is through a clinical trial. But once they get FDA approval, it's something that any physician who takes care of a patient with NF can prescribe.
Just because it affects my visible appearance doesn't mean it affects me. Doesn't mean it affects me on the inside at all.
You can get the benefit of the medication without having to, say, travel to DC like we have to, or participate in a clinical trial and all that involves. So it also means that it's here to stay. The trial's not going to end, and you're not going to be left hanging with no treatment. Thanks to salumetinib, Jane's tumors shrunk more than 25% and stayed stable, and so we're just thrilled that that's one less thing we have to worry about with her NF.
My name is Jane, and I want you to see me and see NF.
I'm Olivia.
I'm Frankie. We all have NF and we're all in this together. Olivia looks out for him. She doesn't let anybody mess with her brother. They are great together. She loves him.
When other people stare at Frankie, I usually just say, hey, it's not nice to stare. Frankie and I's experience is definitely different. We both have the same type of NF, but I don't get stared at walking down the street.
Got teased, that wasn't funny. I was not happy. The roles are a little bit reversed. She's more like the big sister just because she's more adult-like than he is, and they're both okay with their roles and they've adapted. She gets to be the big sister even though they're, years apart.
It was just normal for me. I just kind of assumed that everybody had someone who was special needs in their family, but like when I actually learned about it, I was at the age and it was just kind of like, oh, I'm different. One of the things that I do with CTF is I go to camp in Salt Lake City every year, the NF camp.
Having a place where those kids can go and be around other kids with NF, it's great. They're included and they're having fun and they're going to amusement parks and water parks, and I wish they would have been around when I was a kid. I found out Frankie had NF pretty close, like probably his first checkup. He had the 6 cafe au lait spots.
I had NF since I was since kindergarten, preschool. Gonna be 23 next year.
He looked fine and everything when he was born, but he started having seizures around 5 months. It was pretty devastating, but it was rough, for sure. So his optic glioma turned into a plexi, and it was growing where you couldn't see it, and then it got too big. And it eroded part of his skull, and it caused glaucoma, so he had his eye removed when he was 4, like days before Olivia was born.
I've had 6, 7 surgeries. It's not that easy to have NF. It's not that easy. My friend, he just doesn't understand about NF. It's hard for them to see. Pretty sure other people don't understand.
He has struggled a lot more with his NF than me or Olivia. They said he would never walk or talk when he was a baby, and he's walking and talking. Frankie's just kind of amazing.
I graduated high school in 2014.
Here he is, and he's, cracks jokes and watches TV and is funny and is happy. He's had some major stuff happen, and he's just like, okay, what next?
When looking at me, you can't tell that I have NF, but I can always kind of feel walking weird or just stepping wrong, and then I can feel something shoot up in pain through my body. A lot of kids with NF always are kind of behind or are on IEP or 504 plan. I am one of them. It never really bothered me or really that affected until I got older and I had to have more serious surgeries. I have had about 5 or 6 surgeries altogether. I'm about to have another one for my sternum. I have this thing called pectus excavatum, so my sternum is caved in and it's crushing my heart, my lungs. 3 of my 4 heart valves are pumping right, and my lungs are so compact and crushed that forces the blood back into my heart.
Olivia's incredible, and she's strong and deals with life kind of she's already been on the planet for a long time. When you meet her, she's the old soul.
Ghouls and ghosts, a toad and a spider. It's the 24th, and I'm your host, James Snyder.
Ghosts quiver, children shiver. Don't be alarmed, it's Michael Silver.
That was great, guys. Hey, you should take a bowski. And by the way, I'm your third host, Jonathan Sadowski. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and family of the Children's Tumor Foundation, my name is Jonathan Sadowski, and I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to the 2020 Halloween Bash, Coast to Coast Cocktails and Costumes. What an amazing event we have planned tonight, bringing volunteers and NF families together from all over the country, from Boston and New York to San Francisco, LA, and beyond. Now, I was supposed to be the live host for tonight's event. However, I am currently in Toronto filming, and due to scheduling conflicts, I can't be there live with you tonight. But that said, I would like to introduce you to the actual live host for this evening. So please welcome my dear friends, James Snyder and Michael Silver.
Thank you so much, Jonathan, and happy Halloween to everyone tuning in tonight. That's right, I'm James Snyder, known to some of you as Harry Potter on Broadway, coming to you live actually from my parents' house in Rancho Murrieta, California, outside Sacramento.
And I'm Michael B. Silver, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. You've seen me as cops, doctors, and lawyers on many of your favorite shows since the Reagan administration.
Oh, we're both so excited to be here tonight to help Children's Tumor Foundation raise money to find a cure for neurofibromatosis, or NF. NF is a genetic disorder that affects 1 in 3,000 births and causes tumors to grow on nerves anywhere in the body. There are more than 2.5 million people worldwide living with NF, and there is no cure. Not yet. But tonight, we are going to change that as we cast a spell on NF and make it disappear forever.
How very wizardly of you, James. Tonight, all of you at home can help us raise awareness and raise money to drive research that will help CTF find that cure. So our fundraising goal tonight is set at $250,000, and we can't do it without you. So thank you for your early donations and your early efforts. We're starting off tonight's event with over $100,000 of that $250,000 goal. I know that we can raise even more mission-critical funds to support CTF's research for cure.
In fact, Michael, we have got some breaking news. An anonymous donor just pledged to match the first $10,000 raised tonight. How incredible is that?
Wow. That's amazing. Before we get started, though, I'd like to give a huge shout out to our Coast to Coast co-chairs, Maddie and Bruce Donoff in Boston, Leslie and Dick Cates also in Boston, Roland and Nicole Toms in California, and McKenna Galloway in South Carolina, and Rose Match-Suna in New York, our chairs from the CTF's junior board, all of whom, by the way, work tirelessly to make sure this event is a giant success.
We also want to thank tonight's top sponsors who are getting us one step closer to finding that cure. Leslie and Dick Cates, Judy and Phil Schwachman and Varsity Painting, Roland and Nicole Toms and Sherwin Williams, along with Maddie and Bruce Donoff, Collins Management Foundation, Kelly Moore Paints, and Stout Insurance Brokers Incorporated. We will be thanking all of our generous sponsors throughout the evening, so stay tuned.
Yeah, and how can we not thank, by the way, our CTF staff? All those guys worked so hard to make sure that this event was successful. So a huge thank you out to Allie Douglas, to Kim Robinson, Emily Crabtree, Connie Sorman, Julie Pantiliano, Angela Dumadag, Allison Cote, and from our marketing team, Vanessa Younger, Rebecca Harris, Suzanne Preinfalk, and Simon Vukal.
All right. Now, thank you guys so much. Before we begin, we have a few housekeeping items. We're delighted to announce that tonight's performance is being live captioned. More importantly, there are 4 easy ways for you to make your donations throughout the event and see your name appear at the ticker on the top of your screen. I know I love to see my name. See my name in the lights. That's why I do what I do, I guess. If you'd like to donate via text BASH NF to 41444. If you'd like to donate via the website, you can visit ctf.org/Halloween Bash. Now, this is going to be the best option for anyone joining us internationally tonight. And if you would like to donate via phone, you could please call 1-800-323-7938. And if you'd like to just send in an old-fashioned check, please make the check payable to Children's Tumor Foundation and send it to Children's Tumor Foundation, attention, Halloween Bash, 370 Lexington Avenue, Suite 2100, New York, 10017. Everyone who donates, now this is kind of my favorite part here. Everyone who donates $25 or more tonight will automatically be entered into a door prize drawing for a $25 Amazon gift card, which I know I am pretty much on Amazon 3 times a day. We will be pulling a door prize every half hour, so stay tuned and listen for your name. And as an extra special thank you, anyone who donates $100 or more will receive a custom Halloween Bash mask. Say that, Bash mask. That's right, donated by Tracy Galloway and Galloway Productions to keep you and your communities safe. Look at this mask. I'm in. Sold.
So we have a wonderful evening in store for you all tonight, filled with entertainment and heartwarming stories. We have comedy, we have Broadway, we have magic, and we have mission. What more can we ask for? So we know a lot of you guys also have dressed up in fabulous costumes for tonight's event. So please remember to share your pictures on social media by tagging @Children'sTumor and by using the hashtag EndNF.
Also, there is a silent auction featuring some of the beautiful artwork that you will see created before your eyes tonight. Make sure you check out all of the auction items available and place your bids by visiting ctf.org/HB Silent Auction. All right, now sit back, relax, and let's have a spooky good time. To kick off tonight's event, we have an amazing mission video to tell us about the ups and downs of living with NF.
My name is Michael Zazula and I have NF1 and I was diagnosed by NF at 4 months old.
Neurofibromatosis type 1.
My son Raphael has NF2 and he was diagnosed 3 years ago at the age of 4.
I have neurofibromatosis type 1.
Raphael has a meningioma between his left eye. He's blind in that eye. He has several other lesions, one that has caused his left vocal cord to become paralyzed. Besides that, he's doing amazing. He is excelling in school, excelling socially, and is the happiest, most wonderful little boy that you could ever meet.
I have the tumors and the facial disfigurement that you see. I have other tumors on my body. But thankfully, the manifestations of NF, for me at least, haven't been all that severe. I don't have brain tumors. I don't have significant functional impairments except for having an amputated leg. And I do pretty well.
I have migraines a lot. I have to go to the doctors a lot, and I have MRIs a lot.
Is seeing the advancements that I've already seen in the past 3 years since Raphael's diagnosis.
The advances in science, partly funded by this foundation, have been remarkable. The changes that are happening, the learning, and the education that scientists are creating have been fantastic. I have great hope for the future that we will find advancements in treatments, even prevention, and hopefully even a cure.
I have hope because for all the hard work that CTF does.
That was amazing. And just remember that we got to dig deep, and we have to reach that 10,000 to get that 10,000 match. So please, please, please donate. CTF.org/Halloween Bash.
What an incredible video that was. And while it's heartbreaking to watch some of these stories, it also gives us so much hope to hear about the important work that CTF is doing right now. All of our NF heroes in that video and the others we'll hear from tonight, they're all so truly inspiring. And it's clear that we need to find a cure for this disorder, and that is exactly why we're here tonight together. So thank you for being here. Next up, we have a special welcome message from our two Boston-based co-chairs this evening, Leslie and Dick Cates. Be on the lookout for them a few times throughout the evening, including a special live check-in at their place. And then we'll hear a shout out from Richie Furay before we meet NF hero Nicholas Lindeback and hear a rockin' performance from his fabulous NF Hero family cover band.
Welcome, good evening. I'm Leslie Cates.
And I'm Dick Cates.
And thank you for joining us for our virtual CTF Coast to Coast Halloween Bash. As you can see, I'm a fairy grandmother. And with that, I can grant very, very special wishes. Our wishes together for you is for you to enjoy, relax, be entertained, and very importantly, dig deep, deep into your pockets for as generous a donation as you can make.
Especially this year, Leslie.
Because with no fear, together with your generous donations, we will be able to end NF.
And Leslie, through the Children's Tumor Foundation, they have helped to develop a tumor shrinking drug, which is amazing because years ago that certainly didn't exist. And there's 15 to 20 medical trials going on that need funding. And that's why this year is so important.
The timing is right. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful evening.
Hi, this is Richie Furay, founding member of Buffalo, Springfield, and Poco, speaking to you today from the fiery foothills of Colorado. You know, with all the things that are challenging us personally and collectively at this time, I'm honored to support and bring attention to Peter and Connie Sorman's efforts with the Children's Tumor Foundation. We acknowledge and celebrate all of those who have been touched by NF and your spirit and your resilience to end NF for all. God bless you.
Hi, I'm so honored to support the Children's Tumor Foundation Halloween Bash taking place coast to coast with costumes and cocktails to honor the 2.5 million people living with NF across the globe. Tonight, we celebrate all those touched by NF. Your support, your resilience to end NF for all. Bye.
I wish I could swim like dolphins could swim. No, nothing will keep us together. We can meet them forever and ever. We can be heroes just for one day. just one day. I remember standing by the wall, and the guns shot above our heads, and we kissed so nothing could fall. And the shame was on the other side. We can beat them forever and ever. We can be heroes just one day. 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 We can be heroes just one day.
That was awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, go Lindenbeck family for that amazing performance. Let us know when you guys play Madison Square Garden, please, because Michael and I, we're going to be the first. We'll be the first in line for tickets. What an amazing young boy Nicholas is, and all that talent, and what a hero. For all of our NF patients out there, specifically those living with NF2, which is just one of the 3 different types of NF for which CTF funds research. There's NF1, NF2, and schwannomatosis.
Mm-hmm. And how great are Leslie and Dick, right? I think I'm going to get that that godmother costume for next weekend. They are such wonderful really advocates. Yeah, totally. I'm going for it, James. They're such wonderful advocates for CTF. Did you guys know that they have been hosting an annual gala every year for the past 40 years, collectively raising $4 million to help CTF find a cure? I mean, that's pretty incredible. They got involved and continue to be involved and make a huge impact, all in honor of their daughter Stacy, who you'll hear a bit more about later. When COVID-19 impacted their annual event, they joined forces with other CTF volunteers across the country to co-host tonight's virtual Halloween bash.
It is incredible. I do hope that everyone remembers why we're here tonight, to raise money for Children's Tumor Foundation. And as Leslie said earlier, dig deep tonight. Speaking of digging deep, we have a very exciting announcement to make. We have 2 more very generous donors, Jim and Kathy Toms, all the way from the Great White North up in Canada. They've generously agreed to match the next $50,000 raised tonight. It's just amazing. Jim and Kathy are the grandparents of Camille Toms, the daughter of one of our co-chairs, Roland Toms, and Roland is an NF hero you will meet later in the evening. So thank you so much, Jim and Kathy. It's truly incredible. So, okay, this is where everyone there, can we get to that next $50,000? Let's get it. And don't forget, you can make your generous donation right now by texting BASH-NF to 41444 or visiting ctf.org/HalloweenBash, or by calling 1-800-323-7938. Again, that's 1-800-323-7938, or text BASH-NF to 41444. Together, I know that we can hit that $50,000 match. Michael, where are we at on the fundraising?
James, I'm excited to say that we started off this evening with $100,000, and we are now at $107,500. So every dollar counts and gets us closer to finding a treatment that will change the lives of millions of people around the world living with NF, and closer to unlocking these generous match donations as well. A reminder that everyone who donates $25 or more tonight will be entered into our door prize, and every half hour we'll be pulling a winner. Excuse me, one second, I'm sorry. Oh, wait, I'm hearing that it's time to pick our first door prize. Okay, let's see. Congratulations to Louis Mantion, and thank you so much for supporting CTF. Your Amazon gift card will be mailed to you directly. Now, what a treat we have coming up. We will hear from the very handsome and talented John Stamos, and also from Justin Baldoni, as well as see performances from Broadway singer J. Robert Spencer and a lovely singer-songwriter from Chicago, Peter Demuth. But first, let's hear from a member of the CTF Junior Board and NF1 fighter, Nick Gilbert.
Hi, I'm Nick Gilbert, and I'm proud to be a part of this year's Halloween Bash, Coast to Coast. Find a cure. Remember, there is no need to live in fear with NF. I've had it my whole life. I'm 24 years old, and I'm living it. I love it.
Hello, everybody. This is John Stamos and Nick Gilbert. I see you, brother. And I'm so honored to support the Children's Tumor Foundation Halloween Bash, taking place coast to coast to honor the 2.5 million people living with no fear as they live with NF. Tonight, we celebrate all those touched by NF, your spirit, and your resilience to end NF once and for all. Thank you, everybody, and God bless.
Everybody, hi, I'm J. Robert Spencer, and I'm thrilled to be back to help bring awareness and raise funds to end NF, neurofibromatosis. For those of you out there living with NF, we see you, and we're here for you as always. This tune I want to sing for everybody tonight. I'm going to do a little plucking on my favorite guitar right here. And this is a country tune I wrote many, many years back called Let Amber in Nashville Call. And there was a girl, her name was Amber, and she just didn't call. I've been listening to my messages, but you ain't leaving none. I just want to talk, 'cause I'm growing tired of this empty house and blue days ahead. Do you ever plan on coming home? 'Cause I've been thinking about the promises that I never kept, and how I scared you off. Please, God, let Amber in Nashville call. I could hear when you were crying almost every night, but I just turned my head. I could hear what you were saying, but I just didn't listen. Now you're gone and I understand. All those times I took for granted, all those times I take them back. If you could hear my thoughts, please, God, let Amber in Nashville call. Couldn't find the words to say it, couldn't find the words to share, couldn't find the simple reasons. Now you've gone off to somewhere. Couldn't find my heart's acceptance. Now you're up and moving on. I don't blame you, I know I've done you wrong. I've been listening to my messages, but you ain't leaving none. Don't you care at all? Please, God, let Amber in Nashville call. Please, God, let Amber in Nashville call. Thank you. Good night.
Greetings from Chicago.
I'm Peter Demuth, singer-songwriter and Jungian analyst, taking part in the Children's Tumor Foundation's Halloween Bash. I'd like to thank my sister-in-law, Michelle Pribisny, for inviting me to perform. I think I'm honored by that, to earn money, to raise money for such a good cause, to put an end to neurofibromatosis, otherwise known as NF. In this country, 2.5 million people have this affliction, and we want to salute their courage, their resilience, and their example. I'd like to perform a song called So Beautiful. And so I'm taking it slow, there's no need to hurry and nowhere to go. I'm just taking my time, not standing in line, feeling so free. And so the flowers will bloom, frogs will croak, and lovers swoon. And I'm just taking it in, 'cause everything is a song to sing, and it's so beautiful. And so I'm letting it go, all of these worries and all of these woes. I'm just like a bird in flight, drifting along on a quiet night. And so there's nothing to learn, nothing to show, and nothing to know. We're all just living a dream, reality mixed with make-believe, and it's so beautiful. And so there's nothing to lose, nothing to win, nothing to choose. We're all just a part of the whole, classic music and rock and roll. And so I'm fully awake, I'm ready to share, I'm not on the take. I'm feeling so carefree, just like the Buddha in the Bodhi tree. And so beautiful. And so there's nothing to lose, nothing to win, and nothing to choose. We're all just part of the whole, classic music and rock and roll. And so I'm fully awake, I'm ready to share and not on the take. I'm feeling so carefree, just like the Buddha in the Bodhi tree. And so beautiful. So beautiful. So beautiful. So beautiful.
What's up, everybody? I'm Justin Baldoni. You might know me from a little show called Jane the Virgin. I played Raphael for 5 years, and I directed a movie called 5 Feet Apart, and most recently Clouds, which just came out on Disney+. So if you haven't seen it, please go watch it. I actually have a very near and dear friend who has neurofibromatosis, and I have seen firsthand what this illness does and can do, and I hate it. And and I want it gone. So I was really grateful to be asked to be included in this. So if you are watching this and you are considering donating, please text BASHNF. I have a cheat sheet. I'm sorry. BASHNF to 41444. That's 41444. And look, I've spent the last 7 years telling the stories of people with chronic and terminal illnesses via the show called My Last Days, because I believe that those of us with able-bodied privilege have a lot to learn about life, because what some of us take for granted, others are fighting for, and you all are fighters. So thank you for inspiring me. Let's end this god-awful disease, and I'm sending you all so much love.
Thank you, Nick, for being such an important advocate for NF, and for bringing some of your celebrity friends along to the event. I don't know if you guys remember, John Stamos was just some guy. He's got a career, that John Stamos. I really think he's going places, right? You know, someday, and not good looking at all. Am I right?
No.
Well, you know what? We can't wait to see who else you have in store for us, and also how awesome were Peter and Jay Robert. Okay, so let me get real with you guys. We're at $109,000. I would love to see us get to 110 right now. Just if we can move it, let's just add another $1,000. In fact, let's go to $112,500. I know that sounds like a crazy number. However, if we do that, we unlock that $10,000 match. I know we can do it. So if you were thinking about doing it, do it now. Special shout out to some of tonight's donors who helped us gather and get us this far. Thank you to Nicole Ulrich, Carol Walsh, Christine Williams, Fran Cohn, Leonard Aronson, Renee Shears, and Scott Plotkin. You guys are champions. Thank you so much. Coming up, we're going to learn how to make our first delicious, spooky cocktail of the evening from another member of the CTF Junior Board, Zach Gratton. Zach has two very personal connections to NF. His sister Ellie and his niece Charlie Rose both live with NF1. He and his family have been tremendous supporters of the foundation, helping us seed fund our Discovery Fund for research. Truly amazing. But before we get to that, we get to watch an amazing performance painter, David Garibaldi. I don't know if you've ever seen his stuff. It's amazing. You do not want to miss his spellbinding talents. Get ready.
I know you're looking good in your costumes, but I hope you're feeling good tonight. My name is David Garibaldi. I'm going to create a painting for you right now, and hopefully as it comes to life, if you're in the vibe, if you're feeling the mood, you can make some noise wherever you are. Either way, enjoy it. Let's have a good time. Let's go.
Hey guys, so the first drink I got for you is called the Jack-o'-lantern. What you'll need is some vodka, some grenadine, some lime juice, some honey, a little bit of orange juice, and then an orange and a lime. So starting off, you're gonna fill your shaker, or you can just build it in a glass. You got some ice. We're gonna do 1.5 ounces of vodka. Big squeeze of grenadine, about 1/2 ounce. Some lime juice, about 1/2 ounce. Big squeeze of honey, again, 1/2 ounce. And then a little bit of orange juice. You're gonna shake that up. You're gonna get fresh ice in your glass. Pour over fresh ice. A little more orange juice to top. And then over here I have an orange cut in like a wheel. And then I have my lime wedge that I've cut the rind out of. And that's gonna be your stem and jack-o'-lantern as a little garnish. There we are. And there you have the jack-o'-lantern.
Wow, cheers everyone. What a delicious drink, and thank you, Zach, for that amazing recipe. And to David Garibaldi, that was totally incredible. I think I'm gonna grab that Statue of Liberty painting, put it right over my left shoulder there.
Wait, but I want to put it over my left shoulder. All right, bidding war's on, okay? Or bidding war for you guys. Folks tuning in tonight, actually, as part of tonight's silent auction, you can put it right over your left shoulder. To bid on the featured items, including all 3 of David Garibaldi's paintings created tonight. That's right, he's creating 3. We get to see that 2 more times. Go to ctf.org/HB silent auction. That's ctf.org HB silent auction.
And did you know that David creates spectacular new pieces every year for 2 of our California-based event co-chairs, Roland and Nicole Toms, who you will be hearing from in a little bit. Roland and Nicole normally host a live music event each year benefiting CTF. But this year, because of the global pandemic, they're now co-hosting tonight's coast-to-coast virtual Halloween bash from Boston to New York to California and everywhere in between.
It's amazing. Coming up in this next section, Bob Saget. That's right, I said Bob Saget. You had John Stamos, now you got Bob Saget. Bob is here with a few words, and we will hear a couple more NF stories from adorable siblings, Henry and Beatrix Lovegreen, and superstar CTF staff member Dan McAvoy. We will also hear performances by Brian Berman and Matthew Wade, both coming to us from Boston. And thank you so much to the amazing Boston committee working on this event. But before we do that, I think it's time, Michael, to pull the second door prize of the night. Okay.
That's what I'm hearing.
Who do we got? Okay. All right. We have a Kate Turner. Thank you so much for supporting CTF. Your Amazon gift card will be mailed to you directly. And reminder that anyone who donates $25 or more tonight will automatically be entered to win one of our door prizes. All right? Now back to our show. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brian Berman.
Hi, my name is Brian Berman. I am so honored to support the Children's Tumor Foundation's Halloween Bash, taking place coast to coast with cocktails and costumes to honor the 2.5 million people living with no fear as they live with NF. Tonight, we celebrate all those touched by NF, your spirit and your resilience to end NF for all.
Oh my,
when it's right.
We was all surprised. We didn't know what that was either. NF causes tumors to grow on any nerves at any time. We saw so many doctors. They told us these appointments wouldn't end, but we would get used to them.
NF can lead to blindness, cancer, disfigurement, learning disabilities, and pain.
NF affects people differently. For my brother, when he was still a toddler, the doctors told us there was a tumor growing in his brain. They could not remove it, and he needed to start chemotherapy to try to stop it and the damage it was doing. The tumor has been cutting off the nerve that tells the brain how to see, so he is losing his sight. It's also making his body produce too many hormones, so he is on multiple drugs to try to stop those. The Children's Tumor Foundation has brought top doctors together to help my brother and others living with NF. CTF helps do this and can do much more. We're so lucky a CTF-endorsed clinic is nearby at Chalk. He's been there about 100 times this past year.
Henry, what do you think about NF?
Throw him in the ocean. Because I don't like him. I want to care for NF.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Matthew Wade of My Silent Bravery, along with my friend Kat Scudera. We're here to celebrate the Children's Tumor Foundation annual Halloween Bash. And we're also here to honor all those living with no fear with NF. This next song goes out to you. It's a song called Can't Quit.
Can't anything go my way.
Bob Saget here. Nick Gilbert, I feel for you, sir, and I am so honored to support the Children's Tumor Foundation Halloween Bash, taking place coast to coast to honor the 2.5 million people living with no fear as they live with NF. Tonight we celebrate all those touched by NF and your spirit and resilience to end NF for everyone. Thank you.
My name is Dan, and I have NF1. The longer name for it would be neurofibromatosis type 1. And what that is when tumors grow in and around your body. When I was about 10 and a half months old, I remember my mom, much later on, telling me a story about her and my dad were out on like a date, and all of a sudden, the babysitter calls and says like, Daniel's crying, Daniel's crying. So they're like, what? We don't know what's going on. So they rushed me to the ER. So my tibia broke. The doctor, I believe, comes in and it's like, your son has neurofibromatosis. Yeah. I think for my parents it was pretty terrifying because I also have one of the rare manifestations of NF being pseudoarthrosis, which is a condition that whenever you grow, your bone bows, usually the tibia, and if you grow too much, your tibia will break. Well, pseudoarthrosis has affected me, I would say, pretty greatly. Walking long distances, I struggle a bit. There's also scoliosis, which is curvature of the spine. There's also the learning disability aspect of it, which probably affects almost every kid with NF. Explaining NF can sometimes be a challenge because some people may feel about self-conscious, probably, well, at least for me personally, about the learning disability, because it's something like someone could look at you differently or maybe they could start to make fun of you for it. But for me, sometimes I have to explain it because me having pseudoarthrosis, I wear a medical brace on my left leg. So like people notice that and I can't just say I have pseudoarthrosis. Because then if I explain pseudoarthrosis, then they'll ask, how do you get it? And then the way you get it is with NF1. Sometimes they call it a CATS, but it's a brace. I was very self-conscious for a while. Then when I was maybe about 8 or 9 years old, a kid was staring back at me as I walked past him, and I was staring at him, and I thought, why do I care if people are staring at me? So from pretty much there on out, I haven't really cared if people look at me or stare at me because of my brace. I figured I'm going to be living with it, I should just make it a part of me. The wink. Thank you. I think that sound worked. Are we good? I don't know, but thank you, Dan, Henry, and Beatrix. Good. Thank you for sharing your story. Brian, Matthew. So quickly, I want to thank everyone at home. I am thrilled to announce that with your help, we've unlocked our first match. That's right, we've unlocked the first match, bringing our total for tonight to $123,000. Yes. Good. I don't know if Michael has sound right now. Michael, I'm not sure if we can hear you talking right now, but as we figure this out, as a special thank you, anyone who donates $100 or more tonight will receive a custom
Halloween Bash mask to keep themselves and their communities safe. I know that, Michael, if you want to get your mask out. Oh, yeah. We will be wearing ours. I can't wait. This thing is gorgeous. Look at this. I feel like I'm on QVC now. And a special thank you to Tracy Galloway and Galloway Productions for making this giveaway possible. Coming up, you guys will see a vibrant painting come to life right in front of your eyes by Mexican artist Alfredo Sosa, and you'll hear a wonderful performance by musician Martin Shears. But first, we have a very heartfelt welcome from event co-chairs. I have to take my mask off to announce this. It's that special. Roland and Nicole Toms in San Francisco. Thank you again.
Hi, I'm Nicole Toms.
And I'm Roland Toms.
On behalf of my husband and I and Children's Tumor Foundation, we'd like to welcome you to the 2020 Halloween Bash.
I'd like to start off by just giving a big shout out thanks to the people that really made this happen. And there's 3 pairs of women who deserve a shout out. This wouldn't have happened without the tireless work of Leslie and Maddie out of Boston. A lot of respect for these women. And also McKinnon and Rose on the junior board. And finally, Michelle and Kim with Children's Tumor Foundation, who've really just done everything to make this happen and bring all these unique personalities together. So on behalf of those women, I'd certainly like to give a big shout out. Thanks. Yeah, many of you have been to our Halloween bashes before, and we welcome you back. Obviously, this one's going to be a little bit different. Let's not forget why we're here, and that reason is our biggest hero, our NF hero, Camille Toms. And what Children's Tumor Foundation has done has raised a lot of much-needed funds for the important research to help preserve the quality of life of people like Camille and others who battle with no fear neurofibromatosis. So please give generously, do what you can. No amount is too small or too big. We certainly do appreciate it. So once again, on behalf of Nicole and I, we welcome you to the Halloween Bash. Let's have some fun.
And let's get this party started.
All right, Roland, I'll give it a crack.
Perhaps someday, without the threat of violence, left and right, black and white, can live together as one. Perhaps someday, regardless of religion, rich or poor, young and old, can learn to live with themselves. So count this vote for the dishonors. Count this vote for optimistics. Count this vote for all the dreamers. I know what I am. I'm a link on a chain, on an island, alone on my own. So count this vote for the believers. For the believers. Perhaps someday, no matter what the politics, East and West, man and woman, walk together as friends. Perhaps someday, without this wealth and misery, the lucky ones that step upon us will stop this hunger and greed. So count this vote for the disarmers. Aye, 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 aye. Count this vote for optimistics. Aye, 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 aye. Count this vote for all the dreamers. Aye, 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 aye. I know what I am. I'm a link on a chain in an island alone on my own. So count this vote for all the dreamers. For all the dreamers. For all the dreamers.
May it be an evening star shines down upon you. May it be when darkness falls, your heart will be true. You walk a lonely road. Oh, how far you are from home. Morning air, may it be the shadows call will fly away. May it be you journey on to light the day. When the night is overcome, you may rise to find the sun.
Thank you again, Roland and Nicole, for being such an important part of this event. We know this year's events all look a little different, but we hope you're all enjoying tonight's show as much as Michael and I are, and hopefully all of you are at home. The amazing work we just saw from Alfredo Sosa is also in the silent auction. So why don't you go visit ctf.org/HB silent auction to bid on that beautiful piece of art right now, tonight.
And James was just teaching me about the mute button, and then I have to unmute before I speak. So I'm gonna circle back for a second, and I just want to say thank you to Dan and Henry and Beatrix for their beautiful and so personal stories in that previous segment. Also to Brian and Matthew, thank you so much for lending your amazing talents and your incredible support to tonight's event. Also, very important, we cannot forget all of the innovator sponsors tuning in tonight. As you can see, CTF has a lot of support, and we want to thank each and every one of them. So thank you, each and every one of you. Thank you.
We also want to take the time to give some more shout outs to some of tonight's donors, including all the ones that are scrolling past there. But Rob Brainin and Nicola Keene, Sherry Levy, the Jaffa family, Kristen Meeks, Richard and Faye Saul, and a super duper special thank you to our board chair, Rick Horvitz, and his wife, Erica Hartman, chair of CTF's celebration concert on November 16th. Look out for that. Who, you know what? They've not only donated once, they've donated twice. So I don't know how that feels for you guys, but maybe if you've already donated, you need to catch up and donate again because, you know, I said so.
Because, you know. Yeah, because we need each of you to continue to keep donating all night long. So no donation is too small to help us reach our next $50,000 match and exceed our $250,000 goal tonight. We're currently at $127,000, and we need to get to $162,000 to unlock that match. So please make your donation, text BASH NF to 41444, or visit ctf.org/Halloween Bash, or call 1-800-323-7938. Again, 800-323-7938. Coming up,
literally, Michael, I just texted Bash NF. I just did it. I did because I was like, we got to get to 162. So I just texted Bash NF, and it says, hey, click here to complete. While you tell them about the next people coming up, I'm going to see if I can put this in, make a donation.
Please do, James, and try and get us to our 162,000 if you can. We're almost there.
I don't know if I'll quite make us there, but
I think you can do it, James. You can do it. Set an example. So coming up, we have Sebastian Maniscalco, who is an incredible stand-up. He has a few inspiring words for us. The brilliant Leslie and Dick Cates return to tell us more about their connection to the CTF. Our mixologist, Zach, is back with a delicious mocktail drink recipe. But first, our current CTF ambassador, Brianna Warden, will tell us her NF story along with her doctor, Nicole Ulrich of Boston Children's Hospital, before dazzling us with an incredible song.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Nicole Ulrich, and I'm a neurologist and neuro-oncologist and what I call an NFologist at Boston Children's Hospital and Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. And today I'm going to have our fireside Zoom chat with one of my favorite patients, Brianna Warden, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brianna Warden, and I'm the 2020 National Ambassador for the Children's Tumor Foundation. I'm really excited to be able to join you all through Zoom. I've been an advocate for CTF since I was about 7 or 8 years old, and I've known Dr. Ulrich for as long as I can remember. So I'm really excited that she's able to join us as well.
Yeah. I actually looked back, Brianna, and I think I met you when you were 10.
Oh, wow.
And so more than half of your life I've known you, but I think I've known you from afar for longer than that. So, you know, over the time, we have developed a relationship and kind of participated together in this journey that we call NF. First from a time when we had no treatments available really for NF, and then through now our second clinical trial together for targeted therapies for plexiform neurofibromas. And, you know, I think we've gotten to know each other pretty well over that time, but I think sometimes it's good for people to hear what it's like to participate in a clinical trial, and it's what it's like to go through that experience where now we have moved into an era where we actually have some treatments available. So
Definitely.
Maybe you can talk a little bit about your experience.
So I was a little nervous to go on a trial, as I feel any patient was, and I was at a time in my life where I felt like my quality of life was going downhill. My arm, or my elbow specifically, just kept feeling like a sublux feeling, so it kept feeling like my elbow was dislocating. And my tumors were just growing so rapidly that my skin kind of felt like paper. So if you would just go like this, my skin would crack open. I couldn't wear long sleeve shirts. And it was around winter time because it was getting cold, if I recall. It was around October. And I just remember sitting with my mom, Dr. Ulrich, and other physicians, and just telling them I was at the point where I wanted my arm to be amputated because I couldn't take the stress of the dislocation feeling, and just again, my overall quality of life was declining. And luckily, I was a candidate for this MEK inhibitor, and though the side effects can be hard at times, as will any medicine, my tumors are shrinking, and shirts that didn't fit me before are now fitting. I am able to lift my arm up higher than I was able before. I had to do these peg tests for the clinical trial, and just being able to pick up a peg was so exciting to me because I was dropping things. I couldn't pick up even a gallon of milk without it I remember one time I cried. I picked it up and it spilt all over the floor just because, again, I couldn't pick it up, and now that I can, it's just amazing to me. So I know with neurofibromatosis, it's always an unknown and it's so hard to deal with, but luckily because of the Children's Tumor Foundation, my doctors, this clinical trial is working, and I really think that we have to keep advocating for this. It's extremely important.
And Brianna, one of the important things that you brought up is kind of how you have experienced some gain of function in your arm. And that's something that as people who plan the clinical trials, that's been an important thing for us to evaluate. And so it's not just important what the MRI shows, it's actually really important what you're able to do because of being on this medication. And so we're trying to find different ways to measure response that don't have anything to do with the MRI, but more to do with your quality of life and your functioning and how the plexiform neurofibroma is impacting that. So you brought up a really good point. What is it like as a patient to hear that there's a potential trial coming down the line? Because I know we've been on this road together.
It's amazing just knowing that other people are out there and, listening to Children's Tumor Foundation and other people's stories. Because when I was younger, we never thought that we would be where we are today. I was just having surgery after surgery. It was so disheartening having this surgery that was really hard on me. I would have these tubes, and then it just grew right back, and hearing you might not be able to have another surgery because your skin can't handle this surgery. But now there's a medication where I don't have to go under the knife, so to speak. I can feel like I can be more normal, if that makes sense. Because before, I wouldn't want to hang out with my friends because I didn't want to hinder their experience. They'd want to go hiking, and I'd be like, I can't. I'm afraid my arm is going to dislocate. And now I can go to walks with my friends and not feel like I'm being boring, if that makes sense. It's just so amazing that science is changing and things are accelerating, and where we are today, I can't even put it to words. I'm just so excited that we're progressing so well.
Hi everyone, I am so honored to support the Children's Tumor Foundation's Halloween Bash taking place coast to coast with costumes and cocktails in order to support the 2.5 million people living with NF around the globe. Tonight we celebrate all those touched by NF with your resilience and your spirit to end NF. Thank you.
The things that I thought I wanted to be, so desperate to find a way out of my world and finally breathe. Right before my eyes I saw my heart, it came to life. This ain't easy, it's not meant to be. Every story has pain cuts you deep, when the night keeps you from sleeping, just look and you will see that I will be your remedy. When the world seems so cruel and your heart makes you feel like a fool, I promise you will see that I will be your remedy. No river is too wide or too deep for me to swim to you. Come whenever, I'll be the shelter that won't let the rain come through. Your love, it is my truth, and I will always love you. Love you. When the pain cuts you deep, when the night keeps you from sleeping, just look and you will see that I will be your remedy. When the world seems so cruel and your heart makes you feel like a fool, I promise you will see that I will be your remedy. Oh. When the pain cuts you deep, when the night keeps you from sleeping, just look and you will see that I will be. When the world seems so cruel and your heart makes you feel like a fool, I promise you will see that I will be your remedy.
Sebastian Maniscalco here. So happy to support Children's Tumor Foundation Halloween Bash. Thank you so much for asking me to be a part of this. Just want to raise some awareness for about 2.5 million people that have NF across the country, coast to coast. And I just want to say happy Halloween, and thanks for all your support. God bless you.
Hi, I'm Leslie Cates.
And I'm Dick Cates.
And we have a daughter, Stacy, with NF1. Though at the time we started this organization, we didn't know that there was NF1, NF2, and schwannomatosis. That's how long ago it was, almost 45 years ago. Stacy has gone through many, many serious operations. I think her total count now is 40 surgeries that she's gone through. She's a brave, wonderful woman. We are very lucky that the horizons have changed, and now that they're doing research and clinical trials, and they're making a difference for us. When we started, there was us. The national organization was only 6 months old, and we started the Mass chapter of NF with Pam and Frank McKeon and Maddie and Bruce Donoff. And we were blessed to have lots of family and friends that joined us. So we have diligently persevered, and with Annette Barker at the helm, and Michelle and Kim and all the wonderful family and friends, we are expanding internationally. We are, thank goodness, making a difference.
Yes, Leslie. And I don't want to go back in history, but I'll just say that there's been so much progress. When we first heard about the disease, we wrote to medical schools, and I would say that we got at least 3, but it could have been as many as 10 that wrote back and said, we don't know much about the disease, but we wish you and your daughter good luck.
And we were lucky with Mass General that we hooked into a brilliant surgeon that did unbelievable work and has continued. So with that, we are part of the CTF NF family, and we wish everyone well.
Alrighty guys, now we got a non-alcoholic drink, or what we call a mocktail. So what you'll need, real simple, grenadine, lime juice, and honey. It's gonna be a lot similar to that jack-o'-lantern. So, you're gonna start off, you got a cup of ice, fill your shaker with ice. Again, you can build it just right there. You're gonna do just half an ounce of grenadine, half an ounce of lime juice, another big squeeze of honey, and then just top it off with soda. Give it a shake again. There we are. And then garnish with a lime wheel. Real simple. And there you are.
Looks like a great spin on your delicious drink, Zach. I hope you're all enjoying the jack-o'-lantern as much as we are. Although I think we should rename it the Zach-o'-lantern. Right, Michael?
I'm in.
Okay. You know what? I think it's time to pull another door prize. Congratulations. Okay. Who do we have? Trudy Laspina. And congratulations. That's right. Thank you for joining us, Trudy. You're amazing. Your Amazon gift card will be mailed to you directly. Reminder that anyone who donates $25 or more tonight, which you guys saw me, you saw me text it. I did it. I sent the text. You could do Apple Pay. I just found out. PayPal. You know what? Just send us your money. We'll find a way to accept your money. Trust us. Although, I'll be honest, I don't think I should get a gift card, Michael. I would love to get a gift card, but I don't think it counts. Like, I know somebody.
No one's giving you a gift card, James. Don't worry. However, since you were donating, I just donated too. I was inspired. So everyone else out there can give as well.
All right. So now we did it. So if you're watching us now, that you have to. And if you've already done it now that we did it, you have to do it again. Anyway, let's keep the fun and festivities going. Okay, it's time to go live to Boston and check in with Leslie, Dick, and their family to see what they're up to. Let's take a look.
Well, welcome to the Kate's Levy on this Halloween bash. So glad that you're with us. And maybe you can tell I am an old queen bee. And as an old queen bee, I've asked all my busy little workers to work hard to, in their colony, dig up more honey. And they've been very successful. They've raised another, how much? $5,000! $5,000 more for CTF. Now, our goal tonight is $250,000. So we need a lot more help. So I'm asking you to scratch a little harder, dig a little deeper, and come up with a lot more. So that with no fear and with everyone working together, there will be no more. We will be able to end NF. And now, for my family of all the wonderful workers, I want to show you what they've been up to. Okay. Yay! And with this, a wonderful evening, and continue to work harder at raising the important money. Thank you, and good night.
Amazing. How fun was that? Oh man, it looks like you guys are really enjoying the show. You are in the spirit. I cannot say thank you enough for everyone in that room, for A, getting dressed up, and B, being such amazing supporters. Leslie and Dick, thank you so much for sharing your moving story and being just such wonderful advocates. With both of you as part of this incredible CTF family, I have no doubt we're going to go really far. And then guess what? We're going to be checking in with the West Coast because, you know, these East Coasters, West Coast, we got to bring it. There's a little watch party going on. So later, keep an eye out for those folks. Michael, I'm amazed at the support from so many people and, frankly, the strength of these NF heroes.
Yeah, James, you're right. I actually happen to know a little bit about the strength of these NF heroes. My nephew, Joe Jaffa, is a really amazing, beautiful, strong young man, and he has NF1, and he has never let that diagnosis define him. It consistently makes him stronger and perhaps funnier as well. In fact, you'll hear his NF story, and he'll do a little bit of his famous Joe Jaffa stand-up for us in a little bit, followed by a wonderful performance by Lloyd Cole. And after that, we'll meet Camille Toms and hear a poem that she wrote inspired by her experience with NF2. But before all that, if you missed the announcement earlier, we received some very exciting news. So we have received a $10,000 match from an anonymous donor tonight and are working towards an additional match of $50,000 from Jim and Kathy Toms. How incredible is that? Jim and Kathy are co-chair Roland Tom's parents, and they're the grandparents of the amazing NF2 hero Camille Toms, who we'll meet in just a bit. Thank you again for these generous donations. They're truly, truly incredible. So, hang on. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to report that we are now over the $136,000. So that's putting us at $24,000 away from hitting our $50,000 goal for this generous match. I know that we can do it. We can do this. So please help James and I right now by texting BASH-NF to 41444 or by visiting ctf.org/HalloweenBash. I just did it, and it's doable, I promise. James had to help me through it a little bit, but you can do it. You can even call in your donation by dialing 1-800-323-7938. People are standing by to take your donations. And a reminder for anyone tuning in from outside of the U.S., the website's probably going to be your best option for donating. So right now, I am so proud to introduce to you all my NF hero, my hilarious nephew, Joe Jaffa.
Hi everyone, I'm Joe Jaffa, and I have neurofibromatosis type 1. And I've been asked to share my story and talk with all of you about my experiences. So if you don't mind, I have some notes with me just to make sure I don't leave anything out. I was diagnosed when I was 1 year old, and the doctors had a neurofibroma with my left foot and removed it. I've had ups and downs with NF over the years. There were periods of time when all seemed fine and others that were dark. I'm currently dealing with a plexiform neurofibroma in my left leg that causes me quite a bit of pain, and at times has been debilitating. However, things were at their darkest shortly after I turned 12, when the doctors found an astrocytoma in my brain that needed to be removed immediately. I spent 3 weeks in the hospital and was in and out of the hospital all summer. As that time and everything else has taught me, when it comes to NF, you never know what's around the corner. You can be fine one day and find yourself in the hospital the next. When a tough time arises, though, you can either be the victim or power through it. For me personally, I've always found great strength through comedy, both as a fan and creating comedy myself. When I was 12 and in the hospital, I listened to the recently released Weird Al's Poodle Hat a lot, as well as finding comfort in The Simpsons and a ton of other funny media. Through the years, I always know I can put on a comedy album, TV show, or special to get me through anything going on, whether it be NF-related or a different challenge. However, don't just reserve comedy for the bad times. I love to laugh all the time, and I love to make other people laugh. I perform stand-up and improv, as well as running comedic Twitter and Instagram pages. The expression "laughter is the best medicine" really is true, especially for me. I just wish my insurance covered it. Hi everyone, I'm Joe Jaffa. Thanks for coming tonight, or watching rather. So recently my long-term girlfriend and I split up. And when we were together, we raised a bunch of rabbits. And it was fun and awesome, but when we split, it was like, we keep switch rabbit and everything. We really found ourselves splitting hairs. I entered a competition recently to win a free online video conference with Lin-Manuel Miranda, David Diggs, and Leslie Odom Jr. I want to be in the Zoom where it happens, the Zoom where it happens, the Zoom where it happens. Sure, being a plumber can be gross. Working at Ralph's is grosser. In 3,030 years, things could either be really good or really bad. Odds are 50-50. After the 7-day Disney Plus trial period is over, I wonder if people will keep their subscription or just let it go, let it go. Speaking of Disney Plus, they announced they're set to add Purple Rain to the collection, but they haven't done it yet. Someday my prince will come. The Coors Brewery in Golden, Colorado caught fire the other day, but thank God they have nothing there but water to put it out with. Why did the lion cross the savannah? To get to the other pride. I was heading to a store the other day, and a clown held the door open for me, and I thought, what a nice gesture. I tried to use beef stew as my new Gmail password, but the website said it wasn't stroganoff. Why did the dog take time off work shortly after her puppies were born? She was on paternity leave. I'm a bad typist. Even my doctor says my blood is a typo. I dreamt about Lord of the Rings the other night, but I had no idea until I woke up and my girlfriend told me I was Tolkien in my sleep. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm Joe Jaffa. Now let's all raise our glasses to find a cure for NF.
Thanks to the Toms family, Nicole, Roland, and Camille for inviting me into their house to be part of this event. You look so good when you're depressed, better even in your current state of undress. Tears caressing me like rain. I'm not even thinking and I feel fine in your pain. Coolest thing that I ever saw. You were sitting there smoking my cigarette. You were naked on the bare stone floor. You looked at me to say don't guess. I was only watching, I guess I love you more. Undress. Is it really such a sin? Should I feel some kind of shame? Will I truly go to hell? You never lock the bathroom door. Should I feel embarrassed when I've seen 100 times before how do married couples code? Should I say, excuse me darling, really I should know by now. We could disconnect the telephone and sit around and mess around and tell your mom we went to Rome, Tennessee. And I'm not even drinking and I feel fine. And that's really scary. Is it
some kind of shame. Will I truly go to hell? Coolest thing I ever saw. You were sitting there smoking my cigarettes. You were naked on the bed stone floor. You looked at me to say don't guess. Well, I was only watching. Is it bad I should love you best? Undressed, undressed.
It is so wonderful to see many of these friendly faces here tonight that were also involved in the CTF's virtual Zoomathon back in May. But let's not forget the real reason why we're here: to raise money to find a cure to end NF. And with your help, we can. Please donate and help us reach our goal and help the 2.5 million families suffering with NF. Every donation counts. To donate, simply text BASH-NF to 41444 or go to ctf.org/HalloweenBash.
My diagnosis came when I started to have tongue seizures, and we just didn't know what was going on, so we went to my primary care doctor and she recommended an MRI.
How do you feel right now?
Are you feeling silly?
We were sitting in the waiting room and the doctor came out and said, we need to do emergency surgery because your daughter has a brain tumor. And our whole world changed in that instant.
From there, they saw the markers of NF2, like the acoustic neuromas. You know, life just kind of went back to the new normal. My dad is in this fight as much as I am, or more so. And then my mom, she's also strong, and I really appreciate that I'm not in it alone, and I never felt that way.
We've spent the last 16 years dealing with the rigors of neurofibromatosis type 2.
I feel like NF2 has taken things away from me, like I can't hear out of my left ear, I'm blind in my right eye, but I don't let that, I always say I don't let NF2 define me.
Camille is a warrior. Camille has perseverance. She has resilience. She wakes up every day extremely happy. She loves life.
She makes everyone feel good. Like, she brings up our whole family.
I am the person I am because of NF2. It's made me stronger. It's made me realize what I want in my life. And it's made me go after my goals harder. I'm majoring in Human Development and Family Studies with an emphasis in child life. And I plan to go on to a graduate program and then eventually work up to becoming a child life therapist. It's helped me realize that I want to take my story and help others.
So Camille was diagnosed in 2004, and that was the day we found out she had neurofibromatosis type 2. And it wasn't too long after that we discovered Children's Tumor Foundation and all the great things that they do to support research for both NF1, NF2, and schwannomatosis.
I went to the NF forum in San Francisco, and it was really, really cool for me to see everyone who's going through the same things as me. And it's just a really nice experience to know that I'm not alone and to just talk to others and be like, oh, do you struggle with this? I struggle with this.
I think what the Children's Tumor Foundation is doing is working. Children's Tumor Foundation is leading the charge.
I loved how this condition is getting that attention, and that CTF is continuing to raise awareness about NF. Sometimes I don't want to talk about it. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I want to talk about it, but not with you. Sometimes my head screams, I just want to yell into the void. When things get all foggy and dizzied and I can't do the things I've enjoyed. No, sometimes it's better not to tell you, because I tell you too much. I worry you'll think I'm always suffering when I'm not. So I want someone to see what it's like being me when I'm broken, weak, and down. I'm not always the positive person that I built my facade around. I cry real tears, I spit fire from my tongue, yelling at something I can't see or someone. No, I'm not mad at anyone. My only grievance is this. Why the hell do I just struggle with this thing I can't fix? I can pop pills for days. I can have my body sliced into. I can distract myself from seeing what I don't want to see. So then comes the weight that rests heavy on my shoulders. I have to look you in the eye and address you with a smolder. You have no right to make my life not seem like mine. Make me hide my pain from the world and pretend that I am fine. Sometimes you're too heavy to carry and look for some help without feeling like a burden or a victim for asking. The cruel fate is that this will never end, my relationship with you. But I'll be damned if you take away love, which is my biggest defense against you. And you won't. I won't let you. So my friends, my loves, I want you to know. Sometimes I don't want to talk about it. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I want to talk about it, just not with you. Though that does not mean that I don't love you.
Camille, wow, just wow. What an incredible moment, and you just move us to our core. And Joe Jaffa too. How about my nephew? Incredible story and brilliant stand-up. You two are both true NF heroes, and you're both real fighters. We love you guys. And a quick fundraising update. We're up to $142,000, putting us just $20,000 away from unlocking that generous match, which will hit at $162,000. So thank you again to Jim and Kathy Toms for their very generous donation match tonight. We can get there, but we can't do it without your help.
Yes, and you can help people like Joe and Camille and everyone living with NF by donating right now. I keep hearing Leslie in my head, right? Dig deep into your pockets. To make a donation, text BASH NF to 41444 or visit ctf.org/HalloweenBash or just call. You know what? Talking to a human being about this stuff is pretty amazing too. Just to hear someone on the other line is pretty amazing also. So 800-323-7938. Again, that's 1-800-323-7938. We need your help. We need to continue this funding, this groundbreaking research that's being done to find a cure. There are so many people that are so incredible who've donated so much tonight. And we want to give a special shout out to Dan McAvoy, Alex Cates, Tara Capuano, Channing Johnson, Kendall and Finley Samblinette, Angela Lindeback, Kelly Sachs, Sheila Heel, Sheila Drevayanko, Walt Steenbergen, and Ashton Toms. Special shout out to Tracy Galloway, of course, for her amazing donation of $5,000 in honor of Camille Toms and the Toms family, as well as another $5,000 in honor to the Junior Board's inaugural year. All right, next up. David Garibaldi, again, he's back doing a second painting, one that I think we might all want. He's painting one of the all-time greats, and yes, I'm keeping everyone in Halloween suspense.
So I'm imagining all of you having a great time at home in your costumes with a drink in the hand. And as much as I want you to be entertained tonight, I also want you to be inspired. Hopefully this next portrait will lift your spirits and hopefully it will inspire you tonight. I'm David Garibaldi. Let's keep going. Let's go. Thank you all so much for having me. I want you to just enjoy the rest of your evening. I hope you feel inspired the rest of your night, but most of all, have a great time. My name is David Garibaldi. Thank you.
Wasn't that incredible? Holy cow. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was such an incredible role model, and we're obviously still so saddened by her recent passing. She remains an inspiration to every young girl and young boy and woman and man and anyone who believes in perseverance, just like our NF patients do. So don't forget that you can bid on all the beautiful artwork you've seen tonight in our silent auction, including David's painting of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, by visiting ctf.org/HB silent auction.
God, how cool would it be to have that in your house, right? Amazing.
I'm bidding on it right now.
David briefly went to high school like 15 minutes from here. Actually, I'm right now, I'm standing underneath a piece of artwork my dad did. He did some stained glass right there. With all this excitement, okay, it's time for our fourth door prize of the night. Okay, it's not me. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that much. Okay, who do we have? All right, we have Laura Kudish. All right, Laura, thank you so much for supporting CTF. Your Amazon gift card will be mailed to you directly. Reminder that anyone who donates $25 or more will automatically be entered to win one of our door prizes. That's right, except me, apparently, and Michael, because if he gets one and I don't, I'm going to be really mad. Now, let's hear from CTF's own Ruth Bader Ginsburg and president of the foundation, Annette Bucker.
I am here to scare NF. I don't want NF anymore.
Hi guys, this is Annette. I wish you a wonderful Halloween bash and a wonderful gala tonight. And I really want a special thanks to the organizers of this fantastic event and also to the development team and the communication team. And a quick special thanks to Kim and Ali. Enjoy, and let's end it.
How cool was that vinyl pop art from Greg Frederick? That was awesome. And thank you, Annette. I have to say that was actually a super spooky beginning. I was like, are we okay, kids? It's just Annette. You're good. She's a hero, not as scary as she looked at the beginning. Yes, you guys, let's end NF together. And tonight, let's do that. So to help do that, make a donation. Text BASH NF to 41444, or you can visit ctf.org/Halloween Bash, or call 1-800-323-7938. Super friendly people on the line. Frankly, I texted. I really feel like I should have called. I feel like I missed out. And reminder, anyone who's tuning in from outside the U.S., the website is definitely going to be your best bet. There is no donation too small or too big. We all need just the help that we can get tonight so that we can end NF together. All right, guys. Coming up, comedian Mike Young is here to make us laugh, and Lloyd Cole is back with another amazing performance. But first, a special message from Entourage's Jerry Ferrara.
Hey, what's up? It's Jerry Ferrara here, and I wanted to send a little message to my man, Nick Gilbert. Nick, hey, you're a pretty big fan of Entourage. Well, I just want to say that we are all a pretty big fan of yours, and it is an honor and a privilege to show my support for the Children's Tumor Foundation Halloween Bash, which is taking place coast to coast, and it's honoring the 2.5 million people who are living with no fear as they live with NF. Tonight, we celebrate your spirit, your strength, and hopefully to end NF for all. So I'm sending you guys lots of love, lots of strength, and no fear.
Take number 11. This is Mike Young, comedian, trying to do comedy while sitting in a chair in my mom's kitchen in Detroit during a global pandemic. But I will do anything to help the cause. CTF, thank you for having me. This foundation is raising a ton of money to put an end to NF, and we are going to put an end to NF. And I want to give a special shout out to my man Nick Gilbert. I've known you a long time, and Nick is one of the funniest dudes I've ever met. He's always had an incredible attitude. Since he was a kid, he was puffing out his chest and making jokes. So God bless you all, and here's a little comedy. Boom. Coming to the stage, you won't see him in San Jose. You will not be catching him in Dallas. You will not see him in Tampa. He will not be in Miami as scheduled. You're not going to catch him in Northern Michigan, and you sure as hell won't see him till 2021 because there's a global pandemic going on. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Mike Young. These are the new comedy shows. When I started the pandemic, I was a bachelor. You don't want to be a bachelor in pandemic. Let me tell you something. I started thinking about all my exes. All of them. I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe I'm not ready to settle down, but I'm ready to settle. Let me call back the day drinker and get this relationship popping again. She wasn't that bad. Nothing wrong with drinking in the daytime. So what? What's a glass of wine at 1, some whiskey at 3, and some vodka at 7? Big deal, okay? Who am I to judge? Bring back the day drinker. I started thinking about my girl that had maybe a couple personalities. She had 2 or 3 personalities. Bring them all. I'm lonely. I'll take all your personalities right now. The more the merrier. I don't like being alone in the global pandemic. Okay? Not at all. My name is Mike Young. God bless you guys. Let's put an end to NF. One love. Shout out to Nick. And we'll see you soon. Edit this on your own. Kid friendly.
Hello, I'm Lloyd Cole, and with my guitar, I'm happy to join the fight against neurofibromatosis type 2.
It hasn't rained for 6 days. She says that a girl needs a gun these days on account of all the rattlesnakes. She looks like Eve Marie song in on the waterfront. She reads Simone de Beauvoir, her American circumstance. Less than sure if her heart has come to stay in San Jose. The never-born child still haunts her as she speeds down the freeway. She tries her luck with the traffic police and more than spite. She never finds no trouble, she tries too hard. She's obvious despite herself. She looks like song. And on the waterfront, she says all she needs is therapy. All she needs is love is all she needs. Jody never sleeps cause there are always needles in the hay. She says that a girl needs a gun these days on account of all the rattlesnakes.
Well, thank you, Lloyd, and thank you, Mike, for being here tonight and for supporting CTF. As you can see, CTF has a lot of people standing behind their mission and helping all of these NF heroes. Oh, it's time for another door prize giveaway to thank another lucky CTF supporter. Let me see. Congratulations to Diane Austin, and thank you for your donation, Diane. Your Amazon gift card will be mailed to you directly.
And we've got another group of donors that we want to give a special thanks to for all their support tonight. Shannon McNall, Tom Del Conte, Cooper Norris, Becca Brooks, Betons Hunt, Sean Wentworth, Michael Ryder, Carol Walsh, and Kevin Martin. Thank you.
And coming up next, we will meet another inspiring NF hero, Billy Gwen, who is the face behind a new comic book from CTF called Understanding NF2. We'll also hear from an amazing guitarist and a dear friend of CTF, Sandro Norton. Sandro supported CTF in the Zoomathon this past May and collaborated with CTF in September to create a European musical journey to end NF that raised literally $27,000 to translate CTF's patient registry.
I was 6, 7 when the diagnosis was made, and my primary language was Vietnamese. So I got lost in like these complex medical words. I think as a child, you don't understand the gravitas of it, nor do you understand like how it affects your life. My parents were pretty confused about the whole thing. I think NF2 at the time, and even now, is a rare and not very well-known genetic disorder. And so they tried to follow up on the literature and read, but it was a lot of confusing things. My mom was the one that was coordinating all my doctor's appointments. She was the one that was really like pushing a lot for my care. And then my dad was also the one like comforting me and really guiding me along. I felt like because of my parents, I had more or less a normal childhood where like the disease was like something that was there, but wasn't something that we always focused on. I think having a very optimistic perspective, especially with dealing with any chronic disease, especially NF2, where things are so unpredictable, realizing that, you know, there are things that we can change and things we can't change. And for things we can't change, worrying about them, having like a very negative attitude doesn't really help your cause. And so that's more or less the perspective I've tried to carry. NF2 was what kind of like propelled me into medicine, and I think that was really the catalyst for me pursuing a career in like medicine and pediatric hematology oncology or neuro-oncology. It brings a whole like new shade of empathy where you're able to not necessarily put yourself in their position, but bring your own experience to the table and know what that feels like. Everyone's talking about a cure, like a final all cure. I'm cautiously optimistic. I think a lot of the therapies will start with like basic science, clinical research, and it's great to see a lot of nonprofits helping to drive the innovation and the change. If we can get to like the endpoint, great. But if not, I think the small victories are also a huge point in driving the field forward. I really wish I had known about CTF younger. The family and support is tremendous. That understanding between people who go through the same lived experience was just like tremendous for me.
Hi, Sandro Norton here, and I'm so honored to be part of another event by Children's Tumor Foundation, this time Halloween Badge, taking place coast to coast, where drinks and costumes are part of this beautiful journey. Stay tuned and please support NF.
Sandro is just amazing, right? Allison, this is James Snyder. I'm actually literally hosting the thing right now. I'm talking to Allison, guys. You can just call the 1-800 number, right? I've said it about 50 times. What's the number again, Allison? That's okay. So anyway, but how are you having a chance to see how good Sandro is? And do you know what our total? She said it's amazing. Now we're at $147,000 right now, but I think we can do better, right, Allison? So she's with me. So 148. We're at 148,000. Allison is on board right now. I'm going to hang up with you. I'm going to get back to hosting, but I just want to say thank you to everyone manning the telephone lines. You guys are amazing. You're heroes also. So thank you. I know for a fact that we had a college student who donated who said, hey, I have no money because I'm a college student, but here's $25. So I just want to say thank you guys so much, everyone at home. And so let's get back to what we're talking about. We saw some amazing guitar, and then the comic book. There's a limited edition copy of CTF's new comic book about Billy and his journey with NF2. So you can go to ctf.org/Billy, and you can fill out a quick form before midnight tonight. And this comic book is your gift from us as a thank you for joining us this evening. And of course, you can help support CTF by downloading Sandro's album. Also, it's called Flying High at the Heart of It. Or you can go to sandronorton.com, or you can find it on Apple Music. So many opportunities to do that. So many opportunities to donate also. So, Michael, how are you enjoying the show so far, sir?
I'm loving this show, James.
It's wonderful. I'm having a great time. There's so many great stories, so many amazing performers. But do you know, Michael, what's missing from tonight's show?
You know, I've been thinking about it. Something is missing. Will you tell me what that is?
I feel like our buddy Jonathan needs to be here with us live.
That's what it is.
I think. I wish. He's such an amazing supporter of CTF, and I know he loves his foundation, all the kids. He'll be back soon to talk about upcoming CTF events that he will be a part of, and then well, stay tuned because Zach Gratton, tonight's resident mixologist, will be back to demonstrate how to make this final signature drink. And of course, don't forget to. We're here to raise some very critical funds for NF. So please dig deep into your pockets, make a generous donation right now by texting BASH NF to 41444 or visit ctf.org/Halloween Bash. And with that, please, let's welcome back Jonathan Sadowski.
I absolutely love being a part of the CTF's ever-expanding family, and I hope to see each and every one of you and more at our upcoming events. The National Celebration Concert is on November 16th, honoring AstraZeneca, Jack Burke, and Lily Ann Brooks. I will be co-hosting as well as receiving an honor myself, and the concert is going to be spectacular, with performances by Gavin DeGraw and Emmylou Harris. To register, simply text CTF Celebrate to 41444. And our first ever virtual poker tournament will be held on December 5th, and the grand prize is an actual seat at the World Series of Poker. To learn more, please go to ctf.org.
All right, guys, so for this drink, it's champagne based. What you're gonna need is some strawberries, some Blanco or silver tequila. I'm using Lunetta Prosecco. You can use kind of any champagne you got at the house, and some grapefruit juice. So starting off, you got your wine glass. You're gonna throw some strawberries in there, and I got a muddler. You can use a spoon or anything. You're just gonna mash those up real nice. You're gonna top with ice to keep the strawberries on the bottom. And then real simple, you're gonna add your champagne. Careful, you're not getting too bubblies and overzealous. There. And then I'm gonna top with grapefruit juice. And then a little bit of tequila in there. Spice it up. And then one last strawberry. Slit the bottom as a garnish. There you have it. Thanks so much again for tuning in to the Halloween Bash. Hope you guys have enjoyed making your own cocktails and hanging with me tonight. On behalf of me, my family, the junior board, and everyone who has NF, thank you for your continued generosity and support, and hope you guys have a great night. Thanks.
Thank you, Zach, for another delicious drink. It seems I've finished mine, for being a part of the junior board, and for all you do to help raise money and awareness for the CTF. Now, we'd like to raise our glasses, as Joe Jaffa said, as we check in with another watch party going on, this time on the West Coast with the Toms family. Right.
Hi everyone, I'm Camille Toms. I am filled with so much love and support from all you guys. It has been a hell of a year for me, hence the bond. But I just love to see everyone coming to support our cause and to see all these drugs coming out that are helping NF conditions, and it just makes me so happy.
All right. Yeah, I just want to give a big thank you to everybody who has supported here tonight. I mean, my God, it just feels great. On behalf of Nicole and I and Camille, we just are so impressed and filled with love for how much you've all supported us tonight and over the years, frankly. This is a crazy year doing it like this, but we're having a lot of fun, and we really are. And so big shout out to everybody, all the supporters. And I just want to say our family, well, first of all, my parents donated $50,000 as a match. I think we have to do a little bit more to get there. I'm going to add another $10,000 on top of that. We got to push hard here, guys. There's another 30 minutes left or less. We just got to push hard. We can do this. I mean, Camille is now on a drug that's helping shrink the tumors and slow the tumors. But boy, it couldn't be a more critical time because it has been a tough year, and we really want to preserve her quality of life. So let's see if we can't get there. All right, everybody.
Wow. That incredible, unbelievable Tom's crew. How amazing is that? Boy, they really know how to party. I wish I was over there right now. Another huge thank you to the Toms family for all they do in their enormous fight against NF.
Oh man, we're almost at the end of the show, Michael. We have a couple more incredible performances for you guys. Yet another piece of art by David Garibaldi, and magician Shin Lim is back by popular demand. He is actually one of my favorite magicians on the planet. I mean, he's unbelievable. And we also have one of the most inspiring mission stories about McKinnon Galloway, one of our co-chairs, the chair of CTF's junior board, and a huge source of hope for all of us. You only have a few minutes left to make your donations. Well, I'll give you a few more than a few, but you guys, we need your help. We got to beat this $250,000 goal. I know we can do it. Goals are meant to be met and meant to be broken. So in order to do that, we got to text BASH NF to 41444 or visit ctf.org/Halloween Bash, or call Allison at 1-800-323-7938. A reminder for anyone tuning in from the outside the U.S., the website's going to be your best option for donating. Every dollar counts. We need your help. And if you haven't done it now, do it now. I'll take a second. No, wait, no, do it right now. I mean it. Okay, fine. You know what? I believe you. Okay, now without a further ado, take it away, David.
I hope you're all feeling amazing tonight. My name is David Garibaldi. I've got an image I want to create for you, just inspired by hope. What our world could be, how we can all work together inclusively. But wherever you are, you can make a little bit of noise. Enjoy your drinks. Let's have a good time. Let's go.
was on a volleyball team. We were all practicing one night, and I fell to go for a dive, and I hit my head and I got a concussion. So I had to get a routine MRI. They said, you don't only have one tumor, you have two. It was my 16th birthday.
I can remember us walking out, and it was like surreal, and we were all just silent.
You know when they say like your world can just turn upside down in an instant? And that's pretty much what it was.
Sounds right.
When I was told my diagnosis, the doctors came in and they were like, you're gonna go deaf in 2 years. That was devastating. Music was something I wanted to do as a career. I loved music growing up.
I would say life with McKinnon before she was diagnosed was kind of just lighthearted. It was kind of always laughing, joking around. We played a bunch of sports together and stuff. We were in the same friend groups.
McKinnon, pre-diagnosis, was the risk-taking fireball tornado of the family. And even after diagnosis, she is still the risk-taking fireball tornado of the family. But that serves her really well because she strives to live life on her own terms.
We are going to move on with our life and try to act like nothing's happening and make the most of it and stuff, but at the same time we know this is a serious disease.
She has to fight for her life every day.
It's this chemo appointment, and then the chemo's not working, and then my kidneys are failing, and it's, then my hearing's going out, and I went on, and then you need brain surgery. The older I get, the actually more scared I am, because the more I understand how bad this can be.
One of the things I do worry about for McKinnon and everybody else is how do you stay positive as much as you do?
I realize how my life can be short. I might not live to my full extent of my life, but I hope to take the pain that I've been through and kind of turn it into something great.
To solve the NF2 puzzle, we all need to funnel and work together to do the science that we need to get better treatments and ultimately a cure for NF.
And we want to find a cure for it, and we're doing everything that we can to keep her healthy and get her back to normal.
I believe in my lifetime we're going to come so much further to where there is a cure.
Leading to a cure means research, and research takes money. McKinnon she's the bravest person I know.
She has such a strong spirit.
I think she's a really great role model because she never gives up.
I admire her resiliency.
Hello everybody, this is Shin Lim, and thank you so much for having me. I have a little story about hope. Hope you guys like it. So, you see, this deck of cards, they can represent so many different things. However, like I said before, I want to just focus on the idea of hope and that it can accomplish anything. For example, if I took the deck and I have it face up and face down, and you see, sometimes in life, you have great things that can happen, but sometimes it can be incredibly messy and disorganized, sometimes even chaotic, like this deck of cards over here. And it might seem at times impossible to fix. However, with hope, and if we all believe in it together, even though amongst all this madness and chaos, we can all fix it together. But not just that. Sometimes in the most challenging moments of our lives, we can actually change and come out even stronger than before. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you're staying safe. Stay strong. I'll catch you later. Bye.
Just incredible. Thank you, McKinnon, for your inspiring story. So beautiful. Her story brought tears to my eyes. And Shin Lim always leaves us with optimism. How incredible was that? That message of hope is one that I know resonates with everybody watching tonight. And thank you, David Garibaldi, for the 3 amazing pieces of art. Remember that all 3 of his paintings tonight, Unity, Liberty, and Justice, they're all available in the silent auction and waiting for you to bid on them. So please visit ctf.org/HB silent auction to make your bids.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show. This is it. We have one last round of special donor shout-outs before we leave you. Thanks to Tyler Hauser, Jennifer Bergmark, Shannon Chandley, Channing Arthur, John Schaefer, Leslie and Connie Olslisa, Scott Neve, Laura Perfetti, Aubrey and Rolling Cats, Angela Dumadog, Suzanne McAvoy, and Pratima Manga. And I, just because I butchered your names does not mean I am not so grateful for everything and everyone who's been a part of this evening. Thank you all for joining us here and helping us raise critical funds to end NF. We hope that you all had a hauntingly good time. Thank you for hanging out with us. Before we go, I want to remind you one more time, don't forget to dig deep. We are so close to our match. We are so very, very, very close to that final match that would take us from $162,000 all the way to 210. So please, 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 if you just have a second, just be like, you know what, I need a little bit of extra. Boom, we get it done. And if you haven't done that yet, you can text BASH NF to 41444, or you can visit ctf.org/Halloween Bash, or you can call 1-800-323-7938. I know Allison can't wait to hear from you. People are standing by to take your donation.
And before we go, we need to pull one last door prize from those who have donated at least $25 tonight. And congratulations to Amanda Martin. Your Amazon gift card will be sent to you in the mail directly. So thank you so much to all of you for tuning in tonight and for all of your generous donations. With your help, it's coming in right now. With your help, we were able to raise tonight $211,371 tonight to help NF, which is...
I think we met the match. Yeah. We met the match. We met our match,
I think
Michael.
We got it.
And you guys, you guys met the challenge. You met the challenge. Thank you so much, you guys. I'm so proud of everyone who donated tonight. It's a great cause. It's a great foundation. Michael, you take us home, buddy.
How beautiful that we met our match at the very, very end. That literally just happened as this thing is ending. It's been a real pleasure to be your host tonight. James helped me through the whole thing. I couldn't have asked for a better partner. And together we can end NF. So thank you all so much. Have a great evening and happy Halloween.
Thank you, Michael. It's been a blast. I hope you all enjoyed the show. Good night.